Yo guys, in today's video I talk about my worst habit in cash cups and the things that you guys can do to avoid putting yourself in bad situations. If you enjoy the video, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new, and let's get right into it. Alright, something that I want to mention here, and I understand that at the time of this recording that it's not in the game anymore, but whenever a new item comes out, it's always suggested that you practice in creative, talk to friends, and try to understand the best ways to exploit it. I mean, as you can see here, the Shadow Bomb exploit, people didn't know right away, and that's expected. But that can give you a huge competitive advantage if you can find these exploits and these freaky ways to do certain things to be more efficient. And then that's exactly what I did here. So I'm using the Shadow Bomb to rotate dead center, and even though it's not in the game anymore, it's still something to note that it is important to learn new meta items. Once I get dead center, I instantly know that I have more mats to claim, and so I do just that. I start expanding for more builds because I know that it's a W key game and I know that there's going to be people trying to key me. I need to make sure that one, the space is claimed in an efficient way that gets me the most mats, and two, creates me more space for if I need to fight. So it's always important in first games to make as much space as possible. Okay, so I hear the guy in front of me. He starts to shadow out of his box, so I instantly know that this space in front of me is free. So I break through, and I'm also playing cautious here. I'm playing distance, making sure he's not in the cone or anything, but using the space that he created for my advantage. So once I get through, I instantly use my Shadow Bomb and I go to zone. Let's go. Shadow Flopper bombs. Okay, so I get this kill, and I see this guy's pressuring my wall instantly. I go for a nice shot on him, have a good peek, and I notice that he puts the armor wall down. And something that I want to point out that I don't think people would do, but just because I'm kind of a greedy player, is I'm going to take this big pot and put it back a box. So that way when he comes to push for this loot, because I'm assuming he would, to find extra heals, extra mats, whatever he can, he has to kind of hunt for that big pot a bit more. It just, makes it more difficult for the player. And then going back into the base, notice that I don't just build a bunch, I don't build up, I just continue to mantle and use the mechanic that's in the game. This is the fight right here that costed me the game. So it's a little bit of bad awareness on my part, not understanding that wall behind me wasn't mine. And then also a little bit of just being too flashy when these players aren't that good. So that's something that I struggle with. I see a lot of other players struggle with is, you try to do too much on players that are either unaware or not fast enough to react regardless, and it gets you killed. So you can see here that I try to grab the wall, put a stair, flip the stair, pump this guy like it's a montage clip, but it's just unneeded, and you could simply just grab the wall, put a cone in, and kill the guy faster. So that paired with my horrible awareness of the guy behind me gets me killed here, and it cost me game one.
I can't wait to get
okay, so jumping into the next game, you'll see right there, again, using the mobility to elevate and get on a higher layer kind of saves me some mats, and it's easy to do, right? You just double jump up, and there you go. So staying elevated is always important. Okay, so this is kind of where I see a lot of players do wrong, and to be honest with you guys, it's hard to value cash cups at the end of the season. I mean, there's been 9 previous cash cups to this one, and it's the end of the season. The meta is going to change, the guns might change, and so it is genuinely hard to value these games.
Pulls back. Let's fucking go,
I make a very stupid play that it's kind of sad to watch. I mean, yeah, you'll see here I just bloom fight this guy. Let's go. A lot of things can get in your head when you're playing solos, and you can get kind of bored and distracted by the fact that you've already committed this much time to the game. And so that's literally what happened. I got distracted and I got kind of antsy, and I felt like I hadn't done anything this game, and I wanted to put some damage in, and I bloom fought this guy, and it cost me the entire game. So just a major mistake. I mean, you'll see here now I have to Shadow Bomb late, and I'm just low on white HP because this mantle, this thing is bugged, and then I land on a low layer on accident, and then I'm caught in builds. It's on me, right? It's just the fact that I lost my focus, and I decided to go for a play that I absolutely didn't need with the zone on my back. I had the rotate mapped out, I was looking ahead, and I just, like I said, I just got antsy, and it cost me it. So it's all good. On to the next.
So after that miserable game, I knew that I needed to go into this next game and drop a bomb, play aggressive off spawn, and take the fights that I needed to take, and I do just that, so enjoy.
Yeah.
Cute.
Times close, I whittled them down. Sticking to them by sticking around. A gang online. Iwo Jima got one flag and it's sticking the ground. Setting up shop. Think I got the message across.
Senador, fucking Senaruni, dog. Get the fuck out of covert, bitch. This isn't your POI. Fuck out.
Being and rugged. Hush and I'm flying no pants in London. The products are not being scared of some judgment. Gotta stay in the cut. Cut you off if you ain't making the cut. Couldn't tell you who the hell is behind us. You start to forget when you stay in the front of it's up. And it's up for
Dude! Stop! Stop killing me!
This guy's trying to fucking run away. Come here. Come here, ugly.
25 white! Stop!
These fucking kids are so bad, bro.
Yeah, but what way are you opening?
Like out the sides when I tarp, like, or just get ahead.
Okay, so there's a constant theme in this cash cup, and it's boredness and greed, right? Those two things. Either I do it right or I do it wrong, and it cost it.
Okay.
Here, you'll see me go up this hill here, obviously using wood and then switching to hards, and that right there, me going a box forward gives me nothing to gain but my shield to lose, right? So I literally could have boxed back a tile and I would have been fine. I wouldn't have gotten sprayed. My builds would have been set. But instead, I, for some reason, decided that I really needed to go one more forward for 0 extra visibility, and it gets me sprayed and gets me griefed. Okay, so going on to this rotate here, you know, with the past decision that I just made, greeting for the extra tile, I know that I have to go for a play and I have to make something quick. Something that I do want to point out here, though, is it's important to know when to go for the refreshes. I see that as a question that happens a lot in the comments. A lot of you guys want to know, especially when you're this shambles, on how you can bring the games back. And although it's not a perfect story every time, and it's not like, you know, A, B, C, D, you do this, 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 and it works. But there's a couple things that you can do to definitely turn the favor in your way that I see a lot of people do wrong. So I'll point these out. Number 1, you gotta make sure when you're taking these fights that you're piecing your angles and you're blocking your sides and you're aware of what could happen if you do go for a play. So you see this guy spraying at somebody, and I'm ready to try to jump in on this guy, but I understand the consequences if it messes up, right? So this guy could fight me, or Height could look at me. But generally, if you're gonna do a fight, and I wouldn't recommend fighting anybody in half and half unless you have 0 ping, and I guess you're as confident as I am in this moment with the gold pump. But it's always better to wait until first moving. Like, you'll see here that these situations that I get involved in don't actually turn out to be anything valuable. It honestly could have just gotten me killed. So just my one thing that kind of the rule that I go by, which again I didn't do in this situation because I had a Goldie and I was shambles and I confidence, is just always wait till first moving. Okay, so sitting in a tree, kind of playing stealthy here. I mean, I know that I can't just keep tarping and I have to look for something like this. And it works, right? I catch this guy completely off guard. I pump him, wait for him to pop his heals. And you'll notice as soon as I kill this guy, I instantly start expanding, making good space. Because I understand that I'm not still healthy. I'm not still in a good position. And even though I didn't need this space in the moment, it could still come to be helpful in future situations. So I drop this guy down, and notice the peek that I take, right? I'm back in my box. I'm ready for him to jump in with his SMG. I can already kind of tell the player he is. He's already spraying at my wall. And so I'm being very patient with him, and because of that, I lose the kill. But not too big of a deal here. I continue to make sure that before I jump down, I'm piecing all the walls, even the wall behind me here, holding the guy out in the storm. I'm super, super aware of what could possibly happen in the situation. Big thing to note there is don't just jump down for the loot. I know a lot of guys would have probably done that, and that right there would have put me at 8th place and would have set me behind 20 points. So those small decisions, they all add up and they all matter. So yeah, that was that game. Ended up being a 12 kill second. Obviously, I could have got the win there, but a huge game nonetheless. Shot me way up on leaderboards, and now I'm back in the position to qualify and do well in the Cash Cup. Oh, this is bad. I need moving zone. If not, I'm going insta. Okay, so you can see the position that I'm in here, right? If you look at the minimap, you can see that a river divides pretty much the lobby, right? So half the lobby is on the north side, half the lobby is on the south side. And by half on the south side, I mean probably less than 30% of the lobbies on south side. Majority of the people were on the north side. So I understand that, and I understand that if I don't rotate early on this next zone, that it's going to get me killed. And I'm at the point in my games on game number 9 that I literally can't die. Like, I have to play both these games out, and I have the timing for it. So with all that knowledge in hand, I know that I need to rotate early on this next zone in order to secure a position in the first moving without getting full held and potentially killed. So you see here, grappler out, looking for this rotate, ready to go as soon as it pops, and boom, pulls back, and I don't have to move. Just want to quickly point out, there's a bit of a fault here, right? I'm playing for a kill here that I'm not going to be able to get anyways. With the way that first movings work, they're pretty quick and they're very far, right? So this kill opportunity here, spraying a guy through a wall, potentially holding him, yes, it might get me that one extra point, but I'm not going to be able to get the kill anyways. And you'll see here the punishment that comes with holding guys and staying in the back of zone rather than rotating early. So now at this point of the game, I see that I'm close enough to zone, and I have the mats where I can fight for refreshes, and I don't have to play off of just lucky pump shots. And so I'm taking advantage of the time that I have in this zone to do that, right? So I'm pressuring the guys around me. I'm looking for as many things as I can. You know, this guy in Storm here. Yeah, I'm still trying to get in here. I'm trying to find the opportunity to get the refresh. Always looking, listening to what's around me. Okay, so I'm going to continue to use my grappler here, and I see this guy die in front of me, and I know his loot falls, so I instantly go for it and box on it. Ends up giving me 200 wood, which is insane. So that kept me alive. This right here, this whole tarping situation was a major misplay on my part. I get ahead here, and I start tanking 3 ticks of zone for absolutely no reason. Right? And while the idea of tanking zone can be effective in certain situations, I should know, you know, the difference between those two, right? When I'm already in zone like I was here, there's no point in me tanking for that extra bit of position when I can really just wait for the zone to pull. It's just a habit of mine from trios that I still have to this day, and it bites me every single time. And so I really hope that you guys understand how bad this affected this game. Now I'm stuck at 130 HP permanently, and it just gets you weaker over time, right? Yeah, bro. Oh, whatever. Okay, so here we are in the final game here. I only needed about 10 points to qualify, and so I'm playing this very safe and very conservative. As you can tell by my position and mats already, I'm doing very well. But this game, it has a few bad turns, so we'll go ahead and get educated, and we'll figure out what I could have done better here. Look at you loser. So I see this guy's looking straight at me, right? The guy across the way in the metal cone. And anytime I make a move, whether that's to expand or to make more space, I know that this guy is going to spray right at me. So it's not even worth moving. You know, I know that no one's behind me. I was on the south side zone, which is already dead side. So it happens, right? No one covers me, and I don't have to stay elevated, and I get a free rotate regardless. I shouldn't get suffocated, so I should be able to chill down here. Look at this fucker. Get a fucking life, bro. Get a fucking life. All you do is this. You're not gonna qual, bitch. Okay, so you see me on this rotate here, instantly getting elevated. Oh, instantly getting elevated, instantly getting elevated. Okay, so you see me on this rotate here, instantly getting elevated, going up, trying to climb those layers, use that mobility wisely, right? And then again, a habit from the earlier game, I'm looking back for a kill that I don't even need, and it quite literally throws my entire game, right? I'm dead. So yes, this guy in front of me is completely griefing himself, just like how I was trying to do back there. So it's cause and effect, right? So I try to look for a hold for too long. This guy gets in the position in front of me. He holds me for too long, right? He's also wrong, but that's okay. The whole point of this game is that players around you can make wrong choices, but that shouldn't always mean that those bad choices affect you. Holy bro. Okay, so a big issue this game. Not only, you know, I made a fatal mistake that got me very griefed earlier on, but now I'm getting kicked by Surge because I didn't have an AR and because I didn't look for many tags, assuming that there wasn't going to be much Surge. But the big thing to note here, when it comes to Surge, right, is the timing that you go. So I understand that I'm below Surge here. And so while I'm popping my minis, waiting for the tick to hit to give me the most time, I'm looking for the refresh around me. And what I mean by the tick to hit to give me the most time is I'm waiting for that Surge to tick me. And as soon as I get that next mini off, I'm instantly going. So you'll see here, you know, I stand and I'm waiting. Even though I'm already at 50 shield, I'm waiting for that tick so I get the max amount of time before I get hit again. Something super small that can really help you. I end up getting the Surge tag here, but it doesn't fully recover my game. It's over, bro. It's over. Alright, so that was the tournament. Ended on 109. Obviously, if I had better games earlier on, it would have been a lot easier for me, especially in that game 1. But I hope that me pointing out my bad habits, you know, maybe helped you guys understand what your bad habits could be and how you can fix them. So it's all about analyzing your gameplay and, you know, taking a second look and trying to understand what you did wrong and how you can change it. And most importantly, putting the blame on yourself and not the players around you, because that's the game. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know what topics I can cover in the future. I want to keep making videos like this. I really have been enjoying it. And so that's it for me, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.